a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.
Good morning, everybody. Greetings to you on this beautiful Thursday morning. What a beautiful day it is, right? It's supposed to be autumn, but yeah, it is actually summer. Because it's actually so hot.
Yeah.
Normally this time of the year you can
freezing.
actually feel there's a breeze in the air. But right now it's like summer, guys. So yeah, we're grateful for everything, right? When we wake up in the morning, we're grateful that we see another day. Right, so thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I know that we're gonna have an awesome time because we have awesome people in the house today. So yay, we're excited because it is a Mother's Day month. Actually, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. You didn't know? Now you know. It's Mother's Day on Sunday.
One of the days
So it's a beautiful day to actually just thank your mother for what she's doing for you and what she did for you. She gave birth to you guys. So yes, man, that is actually what we're talking. We're talking on Motherhood for this month of May. So that's why we have mom and daughter in the studio, which is actually so nice to see, you know, to have moms and daughters who actually is in unison with one another. It's so nice, it's so lekker to see it and to actually experience the vibes, yeah. So yay, guys, tune in and subscribe. If you did not subscribe as yet, please ring that bell and subscribe because you know how it goes. You will know everything that's happening on the Inside Show. So without wasting any time, I'm going to let my guest and my co-host to say hi to you. This is the ladies that's not new to the studio, right? So I'm first going to give Leanne just to say hello to you guys. And that's how it is. Over to you, go.
Hey, Insights family. You know, I think mothers, they occupy such a precious and dear space in our lives. And so we're very excited, not only excited, that we're very privileged to talk about mothers and the relationship with our mothers for the month of May. Last week, I had such an endearing time in the studio with Pastor Joan and her daughters.
Yay,
and I think it's something that we just want to continue doing, celebrating those bonds, nurturing those bonds. And these two are definitely fashionistas. They're stylish.
So.
They're actually captivating. They are just a gorgeous duo. So we are very chuffed to have them in the studio. Please share this far and wide and join in the conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ladies. I am always honored to be on the show. I don't take it for granted. And this morning it's so different. I'm with my daughter. So I'm that extra mother, you know, extra.
Very extra.
My children can become very frustrated with me sometimes. But the reason is because I didn't have that mother figure in my life and I didn't have a relationship with a mother. So I was longing for that, and now that I'm with my daughter, I want to be extra. So I am out here this morning. I hope we can share some insight about mother and daughter that can help you as the audience. And when you listen to us, and there's maybe things that you can pick up and maybe learn from us today. So remember, we continue on a journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning.
Yes. That's right.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us once again, Auntie Joan. It's such an honor to be on the show, and to be here with my mom is just amazing. It's like my bestie.
Aww.
And it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting topic that we're going to have, and I can't wait to engage with you guys. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome, and thank you for accepting our invite. I know that you guys were supposed to be at your workplace, but you're here,
Yes.
and I'm grateful. I don't take anything just for granted. It's meant to be.
Thank you.
So yay, guys, let's roll. And okay, so you have your mirrors out. I'm sure you have your mirrors. You know how we roll on a Thursday morning. So if you don't, please just take it out. Look at all those. Look at that beautiful girl looking back at you, or that beautiful guy looking back at you. That's so nice to actually look into the mirror and look at. Woo, al die oudjede. But no oorvat.
Don't see it.
You know,
Don't
I
see it.
see, when I look at this, I
don't
see
see
all
it.
the grays. Yeah. Woo! Girlfriend, that's your last performance.
Then you also look quickly.
I fix mine.
Yeah, so yes, girlfriends, so that is what it is. We actually, I'm going to ask you the question. If you must be any girl in the Bible, right? Any woman in the Bible, who will you represent? Right? So let's start there
With me?
with Sonia.
Okay. If I would have been any lady in the Bible this morning, I would have been Sarah. Oh, old lady. Shoo. I really feel old today.
young, you know.
I don't know why.
You look so young.
Okay, thank you. So, despite of Sarah's doubt in laughter when Abram shared with her the good news that they will conceive the baby, she only trusts in her faith. And this morning, I'm there. I am having situations in my life that I'm laughing at and I doubt a bit. But despite of it, I'm having faith and I'm going to trust God in the process as a mom. Because many times there's things that does not make us laugh, that does not make us smile at all, but really gives us doubt and anxiety and panic attacks. And I think Sarah was feeling like that, but she trusts God. So I'm trusting God today. So I am Lady Sarah today.
But did you really think she trusted God?
I believe
She
so.
doubted.
She doubted, but she
She was
still
a-
trusts.
She was a doubtful.
It was
Thomas.
underlining,
Doubtful
underlining.
Sarah.
She trusts. She was like, I think it's happened like that in life. Sometimes you underlining, even if you hear that you feel like it's impossible, but you're like a little bit. So I think maybe she had a little bit.
She had a little bit
Okay.
of faith.
Yes.
She according to Mina, she actually leaned on the faith of her husband.
Yes.
But that's also good because the
It's-
Bible
it's a
said that
good
two
thing.
will be one.
One, yes.
yes.
I think so, no?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think so. So what will you say, Jada?
I would say for me personally, I will be depending on my own faith. I'm leaning on no one's faith. I'll be
Spoken like a
representing-
real single lady.
Definitely. I'll be representing the lady or rather the woman with the issue of blood.
Yeah.
She had faith on her own. No one told her that she wouldn't get healed. She just thought, or rather she just told herself that she just needed to touch the garment, or rather the cloak of Jesus, and then she would be healed. And I think I'm representing her because I have so much faith. I have a lot of big dreams and a lot of things I want to achieve. And I think if you just have faith and just cancel out the noise of everyone.
That's right.
And if you just reach for it.
That's right.
And I think something or someone we should reach to a lot as women and as mothers is Jesus Christ. So
Yes, absolutely. And
I
as
think
and
it's-
as daughters, you know, just to have that faith to actually take the plunge.
Yes, and in addition, I just like to add that, especially being a young woman, there's so
That's
much
true.
happening in this
That's
world.
true. And so many voices.
yes, so many voices. I
Yeah.
think if you're in a crowd of a lot of voices
Yeah.
and in different environments,
That's right.
it's just very important for you to pivot in a certain direction and
Yes.
just touch the garment of Jesus Christ.
That's
So,
absolutely so.
yeah, I think
That was so
that's-
touching, Jay.
That's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. No, I appreciate both of them. They were very beautiful.
Yeah, true.
Collective faith of Sarah
Yeah.
and the solo faith.
Opgedeelde.
And the solo faith. For me today, I am thinking or channeling Mary Magdalene. So Mary Magdalene did something incredibly interesting for me. You know, she was very vexed with, the scriptures tell us that she had 7 demons, living inside of her.
Yeah.
And that caused her to act out and, just go through a very difficult time in her life. Wow. Now, I can imagine that having that much influence in your constitution
Yeah, yeah.
is distressing and
Yeah.
very overwhelming.
Yes.
So I don't think you can understand I think if you have 7 demons inside of you, I don't think you can understand what's going on with you.
Absolutely.
But what the scripture does tell us is that she heard that there was Jesus and he was going to be at a certain place.
Okay.
And then she comes to Jesus, and she comes to Jesus with no words.
Yes.
She bows over, she
Yeah.
cries, she allows her sorrowful tears to touch his feet,
Yeah.
and she uses her hair.
Yeah.
Now, that is just such a complete
So vulnerable.
vulnerability. She has no words because she can't explain.
Yes.
She has no words because she doesn't understand.
That's right.
She has no words because she can't ask Jesus for anything. But she knows that if I can find myself at
That's
his
right.
feet and I can just lay down there in submission, he will restore anything that I need restored in a life. So I find that exceptionally beautiful. We don't have to understand, and the reason why I chose her is because we don't have to understand everything that is happening in our life. But
Yeah,
if we
no,
would come to
definitely.
Jesus,
That's right.
Definitely.
That's right.
And he's all knowing.
Wow.
He knows.
he's all knowing. He doesn't
knows
need
what
our
you-
words. He just needs
Yeah.
our submission.
Just that vulnerable spirit,
so
just to be
beautiful.
open before him. Yeah,
And
just,
lay it out
and-
for him.
Yeah,
Wow.
just
Lay it
lay
out,
it,
yes.
because he knows you. He knows us, know, and
Wow.
I think that's so profound. Eh?
Wow.
That's awesome. So yeah, beloved, glory to God. I'm still in yesterday's thing. I'm actually representing Jochebed. So this is one of my favorite girls in the Bible, to be
Okay.
quite honest, due to the fact that she actually raised 3 beautiful children. She brought them into life, and that was Miriam, Aaron, and Moses.
Yeah.
And if we look at Moses and we see what happened to him when he was a baby, when Pharaoh, that was the time when little babies had to be killed because of Pharaoh, who actually decided that no, these Jews are getting too much now, so they too many. We must get rid of them because they're going to take over. And I think that is where the enemy always comes in like a flood, And the Bible say the Spirit of the Lord will raise a standard against him. And I just see how this woman came, with the Lord on her side, giving her the wisdom and the insight, because I see this woman having a lot of wisdom, because she could have, just allowed this child to cry and for the enemy to hear the voice of the child,
That's
know.
right.
But in all that, she covered that little
Wow.
baby.
Must have been stressful.
Yo,
You
that,
must
that,
be.
that must have been
Yo.
extremely
Stressful.
That's right.
stressful.
Yes.
Due to the fact that a baby cries.
Yeah.
You can't close the mouth of a baby.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If a child cries, everybody in the room hear the child
That's
crying. But how this woman did it, to me, it's only by the grace of God, because God had a plan for that baby.
Yeah.
And what was so nice for me is to see how this mother made that little basket
Yeah.
for the child and say, okay, I'm going to let go. Ooh,
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to let
Wow.
go.
Tough decision.
Put the child, it's a very tough
As a mother,
decision.
yeah.
Impossible decision.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
It
Sure.
is.
But she made that decision, and I'm sure the Holy Spirit guided her. She put that child in that basket. To put your child in a basket and put the child
In
on
water.
Water.
in the
In
river.
the river.
And hope for the best.
On
Hope
water,
for the
guys.
best.
On water, and just hope that this child will survive.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was faith.
That must be
Yeah,
a
no, on
faith.
another level, hey?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Wow.
So because and I see this, I see it, and that's why living in a daily life,
That's
and,
right.
and I compare, that if Jochebed could do this,
Yes. How much?
I can do it too,
Absolutely.
because
let go.
she was
Trust in
the
God.
first mother who actually did that to a child,
That's right.
because what I see in this, God needed Moses.
Yes.
And how he used this mother to give birth
Birth.
to this prophet,
Wow.
because there was a nation at stake,
Take.
you know.
Wow.
And that's what I see in
Race for the
Jochebed.
future.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
brave.
And God has needs of our gifts too.
Absolutely so. But also how she said to the sister,
Yeah.
to Miriam, go out, check there on the river.
Yes.
Just
You will
watch
see.
over your baby
Yes.
brother.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Because they all knew
Yes.
that, listen, this must be a Jew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This child must be
be a
one
Jew,
of the
yes.
Hebrew children.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Moses can just be lucky that he was such a cute baby.
And he was
Yeah.
cute.
No, because the scripture tells he was a fair child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
Smart
child.
girl, smart poppy, and I
Yeah.
can just imagine,
Yeah.
you know, with that little cheeks and
You're
stuff.
right.
Yeah, you can just imagine it. But now look at Miriam and
Wow.
running and checking out. Oh, where is he going to now? And blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And now see that here's the daughter of Pharaoh coming.
Yeah.
These are enemies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
technically.
Guys.
Yes. Imagine the fear.
Disarm our
They
enemy.
was crippling her. The moment.
Imagine, but still, she took the courage
Yeah.
to say, "I can go get someone to
look after.
to actually feed the child."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go get some? Yes. See, she go call her own mother.
Wasn't that wisdom?
That
That
was,
was wisdom. on
guys.
another level, yeah.
That was discipline. That's
that
like
was
discipline for
this-
me.
This
And I also
story
think,
to me
as
is
you-
just
as
something
you
else. To be
mentioned,
honest,
she listened to the Holy Spirit really, and she just did what she had to do because also
the Lord must have guided.
exactly, definitely.
Yeah.
He was in that. He was in
Yeah.
in a story.
In that moment.
And so he is in ours too,
Wow.
giving us that daily wisdom, you know, to
Absolutely.
navigate our journey, to navigate
Absolutely.
our way through. Because many times we don't really know. I don't think that she actually knew that this child's going to survive, but deep down within her, she had that feeling, that gut, that said, no, we're going to make it, we're going to make it.
We're going to do this.
You know? Ooh. And that is what I actually feel.
Wow.
It's Jochebed.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Sure.
That is beautiful.
And actually,
Thank
this
you.
is actually the story that I want to really bring to the ladies.
That is
Wow.
beautiful.
That's-
Thank you,
Look
Jacobet.
after-
Thank
Yeah,
you, Sarah.
Yes,
Sarah.
thank you, ladies. Thank you, Madam Magdalene.
We'll just have to call you woman.
Woman,
Woman. Unknown woman.
unknown woman.
Your name is not mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, but your
But
story is.
Your
Your
story
story,
is
yes. That's so powerful.
Speaks
Yes.
volumes.
Oh my
Speaks
God.
volumes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is-
Thank
it is
you,
a-
Magdalene.
It's it's a wonderful point of departure. It really is, because that is in essence quite a struggle to have to endure as a mother.
Absolutely so.
Absolutely.
But don't you see that a lot of mothers goes through that?
Yes, I
eh?
do.
So,
Don't you see that in daily life?
Yes.
You see that there are mothers, there are young daughters who is like that woman who didn't know, while everybody here screaming at me, what do you want here? What can't you see there's so many that wants to study this?
Yeah.
Can't you see
Yeah.
there's
They
so
wants to
many?
do this.
Wat soek julle hierso?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that is the voices
yeah,
that is actually echoing in our minds.
absolutely.
You know, but we have to
Push
be
through.
like this woman who actually just said, I'm taking the plunge.
Yeah. And I like the fact
The
that
determination.
she had a plan. You know, the scripture outlines she had to weave the basket.
Yes.
Then she had to put tar and bitumen on it so that it can
Yes.
be waterproof.
That's right.
And then she found a time, because she figured out there's something down the line there. And then she still put a plan B in place with Miriam. So I like the fact that it wasn't like a hope in hell almost.
That's right.
It was
It
like,
was well thought out.
yes, it was a deliberate, it's like putting your faith in something.
That's
Yes.
And then allowing God to fill in the rest, because the truth is she didn't have a commitment from the Pharaoh's daughter. She didn't
No.
know if it was going to turn out
No.
That's
well,
right.
Oh,
or if she
definitely.
was just
Yeah.
going to stick.
Most definitely.
So
That's
that
right.
was the faith aspect, but
Yes.
it wasn't a foolish faith or blind faith.
Yes.
It was, I'm putting this into your hands. I'm giving you something, and that's an incredible point.
And there's
of departure.
there's a lot of hope that we can
Yes.
draw from
That's
that
right.
story.
Absolutely.
But if you want to know more, come tomorrow evening. We have mother and daughter. I'm going to share a little bit on that, the other part of it.
Wow.
So yeah, Lady S,
I'm Leah. I'm here. For you.
did you guys introduce yourself?
Yes, we did.
Yeah?
Did we?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, Lady
you
Is,
did.
tell
Yeah,
me
we
a
did.
little
We
bit.
We did, right?
Yeah, you
It
mentioned
felt
that
like
you
we
don't take.
didn't, though.
Yeah, we did.
But we did, yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I was just saying I'm an extra mom, so that was my
Oh,
introduction.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's not what you said.
So
You said you're
yes,
extra
extra
mom.
Extra.
Yeah. Lady S, what will you say is the advantages of being a godly mother?
Okay, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, do we find, is that actually correct according to scriptures? Because sometimes I feel so ungodly raising children and being a mom in this world, in this VUCA world. But basically, what I would say is really the nurturing of your children in a godly, spiritual way. Your household in a loving environment, just fostering that guidance, spiritual guidance, and morals, and importance of what the scripture said. Teach your children the way that you should go, and when they grow up, they will never
Yeah,
depart from
from
it.
it.
So I would say that is when you are a word-based woman, and then you will impart those, values, godly values and characteristics within your children. Teaching them principles, lead the way for them, because I believe in
Absolutely.
sometimes you can tell them what to do, but if you don't lead the way for them, it becomes so difficult for them to really walk in that spiritual ways and guidance. So I would say basically is that all that components that I was just mentioning now to fostering the values and spiritual guidance for your children. That's for me the advantages
Yeah,
of being a
absolutely
godly
so.
mom.
And
Absolutely.
Jade, to have a godly mother,
I definitely do.
what would you say, actually, to have someone that is spiritual and because why I'm asking this to you, I know I didn't put it on your thing, but why I'm asking it, so many daughters don't write. I don't know if I can say not all, but there are so many that don't want to follow the footsteps of a godly mother, But for you, standing and watching your mum, how is it to have someone that is so godly, and you have to adhere to the way she leads?
Yeah. So firstly, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting, because my mom makes me understand that as much as I am learning her, she's also learning me. So there's things that she is learning as a mother and as a follower of Christ.
Absolutely so.
And then she just tries to pass it on to me. So as she mentioned, having a very nurturing environment. I think my mom is a nurturer at heart. And like she said, she's very extra, but at the same time, she's very young and very vibrant and very involved. So she'll try and squeeze in a scripture here and there when we're talking about something that's not related to the Bible.
Yeah.
So she makes it very fun and very
Yes.
interesting. Hence I said
Yeah.
very interesting. So yes, having a godly mother is tough now and then, because she will grind you, and yes, but it's very interesting because she'll try ways in which she can revamp how she can teach biblical lessons or stories in the Bible. Yes.
So
it's
if
very
you two are
interesting.
together, do they know that's your mother?
No. Most of the time they think it's my best friend or just someone I met. So yes.
Yeah, they don't believe it. Not
And
at
another
all.
thing is also role playing is is one of my mom and I's favorite thing to do. So if there's something that she'd want to teach me, we'll just role play it or try to act it out. And just follow
Gosh,
it.
you also extra.
So
Yeah.
it crossed down the line. Yes.
Yes, you
Because
see
I would
where
say
it
to-
comes from.
I would say to her, listen here now, I'm going to speak to you about this issue, if it's a biblical principle issue. But I said, I'm not going to speak to you as your mom. I want you to see me as one of your lady sisters in church. Let's talk, girl. Let's have church talk, so that I can bring it across sometimes. Because when I feel like it's put so much pressure on me sometimes when I have to use this motherly head all the time, and I don't meet her at where she is at her level. And then we will exchange the roles for a moment, and then she will be at one stage when I feel down and out as a mom, and she will let me be your mom today. And she will hug me and just because to be
it's
there,
so
yeah. And then I'm
endearing.
I also want a mom, and she said, come give a hug, let me give you a hug. So that's,
Come to mommy.
yeah. And I'm like, mommy can't give me money. I must give you the money.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
endearing. No, it is.
But yes, it's very interesting. It's you learn every day as you go.
Yeah,
So I
it's a
think my
fact.
mom is also, as she had mentioned, she didn't have a mom growing up.
Yeah.
So the reason why I mentioned that as she's growing, she's learning herself, and
Yeah.
I'm also
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
myself, and we are learning each other.
That's
or
correct.
Getting to know each other rather. So it's very interesting. Yes.
That's wonderful because
That's very touching.
it is, and you can actually see it when you're with them. You can actually see where it comes from. So anything memorable on a Mother's Day, what Mother's Day tradition or moments that you can share actually?
I would say writing letters or exchanging letters, where I'd write something memorable, or I would reminisce on a memorable moment that we've shared, and I'll just write it down. I'll write what I'm grateful for, or something that I think we should do again. So I'll just do it in the form of a letter, and I'll just exchange it with her. So that's
Okay, and
something I
then
also like.
must she also write a letter?
She's not really good with letters. She wants to talk. She wants to be here. Like she mentioned, she's the extra mom. She wants to handle it here. No time for letters. And so, yes,
That's
I'm
cute.
the one that exchanged the
Yeah,
letters, but I do wish for it to
Yeah.
get to a point where we exchange both.
Yes,
Yeah.
But for my mom, it's more like conversation. Let's have a
Yeah. So
conversation.
you can get a voice note.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll get a voice note. So yeah, I would say
Perfect
exchanging
sense.
letters
Yeah.
is a very memorable form of gift I could give my mom on
Yeah,
Mother's Day. So
it's
yes,
so true.
it's very small, but it's very significant because you can also keep it in a trommel or like a treasure chest
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you can
yeah.
keep it, and
Yeah,
She does.
that's nice. Anything you want to ask them, Lee?
No, it's just very endearing to listen to the account of a healthy mom and daughter. And you know what I appreciate about your dynamic is that it's yours,
yes,
because you did it your way.
Yes.
You did it your own way, and you allowed love to lead you, because you don't
Absolutely.
have a 10-point plan, or
No.
you don't have a reference that you wanted to
No.
carry on.
Absolutely.
So you let it happen authentically, and you did it
Yes.
your way.
yeah,
Which is really how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Because trying to confine yourself or conform yourself to somebody else's preset expectations can sometimes be overwhelming and daunting.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
find when
definitely.
relationships
Yeah.
are natural and organic, then it just flows. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Okay, so I know sometimes it's not always
Yeah.
hunky dory.
Yes.
It's not
Ooh, at
always
all.
good. So there are sometimes conflict, that arises within the family.
Absolutely.
So can I ask you, what are some effective communication strategies that you can give us to resolve some conflict or misunderstanding that may arise
Yeah, you gave-
between
Mother and daughter.
Yeah, you
Mother
guys
and
gave us
daughter,
a
all
clue also.
family,
You got
all
this
family.
role-playing thing, which is
Yeah.
also quite interesting.
Yes, so basically also I know there's sometimes days that pure half a day then we don't speak because she was not agreeing with what I was saying and I was not agreeing with what she was saying to me. But I won't say we will go a day with that, ne? We will have a half a day, then I'm just not. I feel like, you know what, girl? You think you have an NQF level 8 and you are NQF level 9 after me, you think you can tell me. So I'm having that kind of things I'm saying, ne, Jada? And then she's like, okay. So then what we will do then, one of the things that we will do is, especially with Jade, she will send me a beautiful note on WhatsApp and tell me how much she loves me. And we will we're quick to forgive.
Yeah.
And then we will like have a conversations like, can we talk about this, Mom? Because I feel, and then Jade is soft speaking. You guys must understand. I am loud, and I speak. And she can't understand why my mother speaks. And then she thinks I'm always fighting when I speak. And then she's soft and she's like, yes, Mom, but I did hear you. And I speak Afrikaans at that moment. And she will answer me in English. Yeah, she will answer me in English. And that makes me more mad. I'm telling her, like, I'm not having time for speaking English, Jade, please. And she's like, yes, Mom, but I do understand. She don't try, she don't. But the way that we resolve the conflict is we always find a common ground to speak again and to talk about it. And then one of the things we do at the end is like we change their roles. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to be? What is it that how do you want me to show up in this conversation for this issue to be resolved? You know, do you want me to be your mom in this issue? Do you want me to speak as a friend if I have to guide her on relationship things? Or how do you want me to show up? And if we find that, then we start resolving the issue, you know. But we really do have issues. We totally misunderstood each other. I try to help her with the research work, and sometimes I don't understand the terminology so well, and she will bring out the term. So we do have then, I want to know, how do you want me to show up as a lecturer for you because you become the teacher now, or the student now, or what do you want me to be? Do you want me to be your study buddy so that I can help you with this? And so sometimes it's also in how we show up to resolve the confrontation can be theirs, but how do you show up? Because if I want to show up all the time as this mom and this person that thinks she knows everything, that actually don't help the conversation. They don't help the argument. It just put more fire on it. So it's like, how do you want me to show up for you now at this moment so that we can talk about this? And I sometimes leave her for half a day, and then we will speak about it. But I would say it's important. The important factor is how to show up as a parent, as a mom, to resolve
because it's not
conflict.
always, you don't always have to be on that throne.
Exactly.
You know, and speak down.
Exactly.
On this child, because especially with your daughter is no longer a child.
Exactly.
You know, you can't reprimand to a child. This is it's an adult.
Yeah.
So your tune change.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
No,
know what
I think
I'm
that's
saying.
an important thing that
It's
you're
very
raising.
important.
Is that for mothers to vacillate between motherhood and also maybe mentorship.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I think it's very necessary.
Yeah.
I think it's a very sustainable relationship.
Absolutely.
Because as we know, the generation gap can happen to everybody.
Absolutely so.
And I think if you're just a mother to your daughter, you might end up in that situation. But if you become different things and different aspects,
That's right.
and you allow your relationship to flourish, then you navigate
Yes, right.
between motherhood, between
Yes,
friendship,
yes.
between the lecturer. I
Yes,
like
yes.
that.
Yeah.
And I had such a laugh now with this NQF level.
I
And
always
your
hear it. I
English.
hear it every day.
So you know what you do?
Literally
Do you,
every day.
when you write a letter, do you sign off Jade NQF?
I think I should start doing that here. My mom even says I'm her autocorrect. But for me personally, I think strategies, back to the question, strategies we could use to resolve conflict would be active listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like my mom says, she wants to get the thing across, and I try to listen to her a lot. And I think listening to understand and
That's
not
awesome.
always trying to respond
Wonderful.
or trying to get a reaction from an individual is very important. So active listening.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
yes.
Pastor Joe, can I ask them a question? How did you manage to maintain your disposition, your quiet disposition, with such an excitable mother?
Yeah.
So I think I take after my dad a lot.
father.
Yes.
Okay, is it?
My father is a very calm
aard
individual.
Ja.
Ek aard na my pa. Ek is so baie goed in Afrikaans nie, maar ek aard na hom, and I think there's just a perfect balance between the two of them.
Complementary.
And I think to my next point of a strategy that could be used to resolve conflict would be empathy. And my dad is very
very true.
empathetic.
Yeah.
Very
So yes, my dad loves community service. He loves talking to people. He's a people's person.
very.
So I think the perfect balance between my mom and my dad. So I'd say active listening and empathy, as well as just getting to a common ground and dealing with the problem and not
Yes.
the person necessarily.
Yeah.
So yes, and not taking things personal.
Yeah.
So yes,
That's very important.
and I say this to myself
Yeah.
because I take things
It sounds
personal a
it
lot.
sounds like it is just, but it's very important
It's
not
so
to take
true.
things personal.
Yes.
And we will always speak about that. And Jade was like, okay, mommy, what is the issue? Let's then talk about the issue and not attacking each other.
Yeah.
And I think that is very, very
Yeah,
good
yeah.
strategy also, that we actually keep on learning now and try to introduce in our relationship to rather speak about the issue and not attacking each other, because previously, especially, I don't know, from Jada's side, especially from me side, I would love to attack the person. It's like, you children, this is my mother. So my grandmother was, and they're like, okay, no, it's not the right way. So I was in, there's the issue, let's address this issue and have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
So
Who's the most stubborn person?
the what?
Stubborn.
She is. Jade, can we
And I was gonna vote Sonia.
No, I'm not.
I wasn't gonna say Jade,
It
Pastor.
depends. It depends on the situation.
It depends on the
really does
situation.
depend on the
But
situation.
I'm not that stubborn, remember? I promise
No,
you.
let
Okay, you can speak for yourself.
I think I'm not that stubborn. However, I'm very assertive
Yeah.
rather than stubborn. If I say, or if I have a certain mindset on something, it will take me a long time to get from it. So to some extent, I am stubborn. However, I feel like my mom is more stubborn because
She wants it her way.
Yes, and she has a very strong character, and so yes, I think you're the stubborn one.
But I'm beautifully stubborn.
I'm fabulously stubborn.
I'm sexy stubborn.
I like that. And you know what? I think Jade, from a daughter perspective, I really appreciate your energy, and I can understand how you can have a very complimentary vibe with your mom. And I can also understand how she can upset you. I mean, imagine this lady is just talking with so much wisdom and poise to you, and you're like, I'm mad at you right now.
Exactly.
And I think in the spirit of the moment, it's not like that. You just want to go at it and you want to...
Yes.
And it's like, I feel like in anything we do, whatever situation we're in, I think it's very important to be kind also. Also to yourself, because you're not being kind by giving someone a reaction instead of a response. So, being kind to people.
Yeah.
And
But who's using that word most of the time?
Mom.
being kind.
Yeah.
You using
Yes.
it a lot. Yes, you definitely use
let's
kind
just
a lot.
Be kind. Be kind. Let's think about the kindness when we answer, okay?
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, mom, okay, let me be kind. And then her kind is not what I want, actually.
I think also, I think it's because I'm very sarcastic. So I'm very, very sarcastic, and I think that sometimes annoys my mom.
Oh, could you be the passive aggressive one?
Sometimes, most of the times. So yes, I think my sarcasm now and then upsets her as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
how
that's
do you
so beautiful.
encourage mutual respect and understanding between the two of you?
I think getting common ground.
Yeah.
Common ground is very important, and setting healthy boundaries, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's currently a very big problem for myself and my mom.
Yeah.
Because, like you mentioned, I am growing, my mom is growing, and I'm at a level, my frontal lobe has developed.
I like that.
Big words.
No, but she's saying that I've crossed over to a
and
certain
I
threshold,
know.
and I can't undo it.
Exactly, I can't undo it. I can't
gotta
go back.
do
I
it.
can't turn back, unfortunately.
The activation has happened.
And I didn't ask for it. And like, I was even telling my mom the other day, I didn't even ask to be an adult. I'm here already. I can't turn back.
It just happened.
I just arrived. I just arrived,
Yeah.
So,
I like
yes,
that.
my
Jade.
frontal lobe has developed, and I think understanding the areas and seasons we are in life is very important, and setting healthy boundaries. I can't just expect my mom to understand that, I don't want to talk. I need to explain to her that, Mom, in the morning I need at least 5 minutes to defrost. Otherwise it's going to seem like... Yes. Otherwise it's going to
I mean, I have it hard. I have a friend that's like that, and then my daughter
You
is
also
like that,
idle
guys.
in the mornings.
I mean, they are November babies, and I promise you, Jade, it's like sleeping with Joan when I was in America.
Yeah.
I need to know when she wake up, I have to defrost. She must go to the bathroom. So now I'm staying with my daughter, and I'm like, oh, I need girlfriend.
Yeah.
I want to go.
I'm awake, and
I'm awake.
let's
And
get
you know
at
what?
it.
I don't wake up like. I'm awake.
I'm also
really
like,
wake
I'm like
up.
you. I'm like you, Sonia.
I
I wake up and
start
I'm
walking,
there.
and I go to a room, and I'm like, Jade is like,
Just wait. I'll deal with you at 10.
yeah. And she's doing that. She's like, Mommy,
Give me time, man.
Give me time.
Because now
I'll-
it seems like I'm mad
Respect
or
my
angry.
time.
Yes.
my
So
time.
that is very good, Joan, what you said. And I'm starting to learn it now with her because I was so used to I will go to a room and just be on her and what.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here she is like grown up now. What they've grown now?
Your
what?
frontal lobe.
Her frontal lobe. Her frontal lobe they've grown.
Has
and,
yes.
and I'm so used to just go to a room and just try to talk. And yeah, she have this boundary about, and now I know it. Even with in the mornings when she's home and I'm already at the office, and she told us, okay, just start WhatsApping me by that time because even if I'm awake, I'm not going to take social media anything because I'm busy with assignments and stuff. So that kind of things is so important to have that boundaries, and it helps. But we quite on a journey with that, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was there, but it little broke down. You know, the things
Yeah,
that you start and then,
Yeah.
but we working on that a lot because I struggle with it because I feel like this is my children. I can just burst
Yeah,
in any
yeah.
time, but it's not working like that.
Yeah,
I
because they're
think-
people now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
need
but
to have
you know,
respect,
you
you
must-
know,
must
in
respect
all
the
areas of their
environment.
lives. Yeah.
Respect the
Yeah, but it was hectic for me. You must understand, like I said, with my grandmother, I know my grandmother was raising us very well and everything, but there was some values and stuff that I didn't really learn. You know, my grandmother the focus was just to get us grown up and to give
Yeah,
us
that's
food.
true,
And to,
yeah.
you know, she didn't have enough time. And my grandfather was like, you know what, shouting at us all the time now and then. So I had to learn literally things for myself in order to help me and my children and my daughter. So it's twice so difficult sometimes to unlearn certain things that I've grown up with
That's
because I've
true,
also
no?
grown up in different households
Yeah.
with different mothers around me. So I have to break down things in order to become this better for us to work with.
To
It comes
thrive,
to
yeah.
And that is
boundaries
why
and
they say
respect.
life is a journey.
Absolutely.
Because
It's
on
not
this
linear,
journey,
yes.
you have to get rid of a few things
That's right.
and take the
Yes,
good things, you
yes.
know, and apply the good.
Absolutely.
And leave the things that's not working for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
your daughter is at a dating age.
Yes.
Right? One
Yeah.
of these days she'll be out of the house.
house.
So how does it make you feel
Yeah.
as a mum? Because I know mothers takes it very hard.
Very nervous.
Yeah, very-
and
very-
yeah, and that makes me feel more scary sometimes because I will tell her, "Oh, Jade, you can go. I mean, I'm so happy," but deep down, I feel like, you know, I had a detachment on a little age from my mom, and yeah. I was raising my children and think, oh, Jada will be with me forever because of that detachment, that trigger now and then. A trigger when she talks about, you know, leaving the house. It triggers me, you know, the distance from mother and daughter. But what helps me is the way we have raised her now, and we can see the manner that she actually presents herself. You know, that gives me actually courage and hope to say, you know what, we're so ready to really let you go. And we are ready. I keep on telling you. I already have some of your utensils to give you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really wisdom
Trousseau, the
also.
trousseau.
Raise your child to let them go. Raise them to leave.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I
So-
think it's going to be easy for my mom because I've been out of the house. I recently
Yeah.
moved back home,
Yeah.
and I feel like for my mom, she allows me
To be you.
to be me, and to explore, and to she guides me, however, but yeah, she doesn't really like keep me in a cage, and yeah, she really just allows me to see things for myself
blossom.
and just guides me, and yeah, so yeah, there is that respect of
But how does it make you feel like, one of these days I'm going to have to leave home?
permanently.
You. How you
It
guys
makes
always
me
come
nervous.
back.
We do always come back, or rather, I've seen people go back
Yeah.
home a lot of times. But I think I'm ready. I think I'm with my parents a lot. I think also the fact that being a pastor's kid, you're always with your parents, or you're always doing something in the church, or you're always doing community work. And I just feel like I'm ready to blossom on my own
Right.
and just say, Mom, can I see you for a coffee date?
Right.
But yes, I'm ready to blossom on my own, and there's just a lot of things that I think I can do on my own, and I think I need to get myself out into the world and just experience life on my own. I
That's
think
right.
I'm very dependent, but independent simultaneously. So
Yes.
I think I need to practice the independence a little bit more, so that I can really see the world for myself. But
So
yeah, it's
now
exciting.
being a pastor's kid, and they were in ministry for
A very long time.
for a long
yes.
time. How did it make you feel as a child? You know, that they always busy with other people. They always like doing ministry. Did you feel a little bit left out? How did
I
it,
actually did. I think it's only recently that I think now that my frontal lobe has developed, once again, I've been able to tell them that, guys, we actually need you, or we actually need to have a conversation on this, because I think when you're busy or when you're in ministry, there's so much happening that you tend to forget that you need to deal with your kids or deal with your responsibilities at home, because you're like, no, that's fine, that's sorted. But unaware that if you're out in the world, or you're dealing with other people or other people's situations, or you have church responsibilities, you can neglect your kids. But I think now that I'm more grown and developed, I'm able to come forth and say that this is what I'm struggling with, or I need help here, or I feel neglected, or let's talk about this. So yes, I think as much as they have the luxury of being more exposed to us now, I think it's also my responsibility. And I say us because myself and my brother, it's our responsibility to tell them that we need help in certain areas, or yes, we feel neglected, or yes.
Yeah, that's very, very, very nice. It's very good actually to have that understanding, because you know, if you're in ministry, you as a parent just go and go and go and go. You don't really realize that you're neglecting the very ones that is just you know, that actually needs you more than anything else.
Because
And
I can
isn't it
remember-
true? Don't you experience the
That's
same
so
thing?
true.
Sometimes you don't even realize that. I was like, I didn't even realize, because you're so busy from one thing to the other, and especially growing a ministry.
That's right.
You know,
Very
the
difficult.
vision is here, and you just wanna you zoomed
That's right.
in, you know, to see this happen and that happen and that happen. So you tend to neglect the very ones that needs you.
I'm actually having
time.
a weird scenario. So I have 3 kids, and they're small, they're little. So I decided
Your eldest is
12.
Yeah.
yo,
Sure,
one of these
critical
days
age.
at 13, huh?
I know.
Teenager.
I'm getting
How does it make
anxiety.
you feel?
I don't have the frontal lobe yet, but but I'm getting anxiety. I still tell now. I still do the telling. But what I have noticed in my kids, because I decided that I would prioritize them.
Yeah.
So I didn't neglect my kids. But
Okay.
I'll tell you, because, you know, you can't, it's like you can't get it right. And I'll explain why. It's a work in progress. So the pastors' children tend to say the same thing.
That's right.
That, you know, my parents chose something else. And the parents also acknowledge that it's a huge responsibility, and I'm sorry,
Yeah,
this
it
is the
is.
sacrifice as the family. So I've decided to prioritize them, but I also have acknowledged my responsibility as a pastor to do that.
Yeah.
So I take them everywhere,
Okay.
and I do everything with them.
Yeah.
So now they can grow up and say, "Mommy, you made us so tired of church."
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my kids do say, "I don't want to go to church. I don't want to go to church anymore." So now I'm thinking, "Jeez, Lord, how am I gonna win?" Because I don't leave them.
Yes.
They're always with me. I'm like kind of coach them in life
That's right.
and in the whole thing. But now they're getting tired because it's really not their burden.
That's
Yes.
right.
And it's not what they want to do. And I'm like, no, we're going.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a difficult road
It's
to
like you don't
navigate.
have
and
a
you hope
choice.
for
Yeah.
it. You hope that it will balance out or equalize at the end, because your intentions as a parent
Yes.
is always good.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a tricky one, Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It is.
I think
It
for my
is.
parents, the same thing actually. My parents even forgot us in church.
I forgot Miles in church.
You know what? That's the best place to be forgotten.
Actually, I think a story that my brother always reflects on is he was left in church. That's how busy my parents are. And I think for my parents are very
Yeah, and
my parents are very involved. Like
we had a church service. It was a Sunday evening when we were at AFM, and then Miles was in the baby room in the court, in the car chair in the baby room. People were looking after them, and then they were out, and then he was. So I was sitting there, but it was a Pinkster, jy weet mos, ons jy gaan die spoegspad, and then after church we just went out, get into the car. I was thinking my husband fetched him in the car seat, and he's at the back, you know, and then I was like. And when I turned, it's like the child is not here. And then we had to drive back to the church. The church was locked already, ne? So the alarm was on. So first, luckily my husband know the code of the church alarm, and he went in and he deactivated the alarm and went in and he
And the
fetched
child
my-
was still
the
there.
child
And
was
you
still
found
there.
little baby
They
Moses
left
in
the
his
child.
basket.
Yes, but the one that we left in church now, we struggle to get in church. That's so difficult, you know? So I don't know. But coming to the neglecting your children, I felt like that because when we started ministry, we always had people in our house. We always had people who were staying with us, not just, you know, coming in. So Jade
at some
and my
point
children...
we were 10 people in the
Yeah,
house.
Jade never know.
were
Yeah,
10 people
they
in
never
the
knew
house.
what it was to have their own rooms for themselves for many, many years.
Wow.
And that was like now that over the years now I've started growing in my thinking, in my ways. I was like, but that was such an injustice to my children.
Yeah.
I promise you, I was like, is this a cycle? Because I grew up, and then it was also a lot of people in the household, my aunties,
Yeah, it's what you knew.
yeah,
So
I
that's what
knew
you
that
did.
we were sleeping on the floors in front of my grandparents' bed and things like that. And now, yeah, God gave me an opportunity to have a house, and there, like you said, with all this
I do the same
ministry
thing.
heart and so on. Even my husband is worse. We have all those people staying with us. And it was such an injustice, guys, because our children never knew what it is to have their own stuff, their own room, their own wardrobe, their own things, only at a later stage, né? And that left scars with them, right? Because
Yeah.
especially my son, he will keep on telling me, remember, there was always people here, we didn't, you know? So it does leave scars with them, and we have to work through it now. And that's why when Jade have a room now, and she's in a room, and she wants to sleep alone in the room, and I give her that, because I feel like, you know what, it's something that she never had. And now I feel like, let she have it. So yeah, it is. We can make mistakes when we step into ministries.
And the thing is, you can never go back
You can't
to,
do it.
to correct it.
You can't
Yeah.
You know what I'm
do
saying?
it.
You
I'm telling
can't.
you.
You can't.
It's like
It's
done.
done.
It's
It's done.
done.
Yeah, their
And
childhood
only
is done.
afterwards you realize that,
I shouldn't have.
Lord, I didn't realize
Yes.
that it has such an impact
Yeah.
on the children.
Yeah.
It had a negative impact
Negative.
on the children. And
Yeah.
I
So you
think
can
that is why a lot of pastors' kids don't want to be pastors.
That's right.
Yeah, it is. And that shouldn't be the case.
It shouldn't be.
shouldn't
Yeah, it
be.
shouldn't be the
Shouldn't be.
case. So
But it's a lack of knowing. It's a lack of not having knowledge. Because what I was also bargaining on all the time, it was like I was using that excuse. I didn't have enough. I didn't have parents. I know what it is not to have. So I was trying to help those
to help
people, you
who
know.
don't have,
You know what I mean? I was doing it, and me, my husband grew up like that also at his parents' house. His mom also took in like 6 children that his mom was raising. So we both had that mindset. Little did we know it would have an effect on our children.
What are the kind of boundaries that you can still set to maintain that close relationship between mom and daughter?
Like Jade was saying, and what I was saying, the boundaries we can set is to maintain the respect and to continue taking to another level the respect, to listen to each other when one speaks, one listen, to cultivate that concept, to just listen sometimes.
On that, we can, as parents, let's just be real. We can say, okay, we listen, but do we really hear them?
Exactly.
Do we really honestly leave what we want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And actually come to a mutual understanding that, listen, okay, I see it. I see her. But do we have the guts actually to
change.
To change. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
To
that.
change. Yeah, that's
Yes.
difficult.
Yeah.
It's
Difficult because
thing.
you must also remember there's a
Fine line.
Yeah,
Fine
and
line.
there's a line and there's a space, and I think when you're willing to cross over, then you can empathize with the generation that comes after you in a meaningful way. Otherwise, it's
right.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I do hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think what actually one of the things that I try now to also use and it's working for me is that actually will help with the fact that I hear you and I will apologize at that point of departure where I was wrong first. So that in order to know that you shouldn't do that again. So you can't come back again and say to me, but sorry, but because you were saying you've hurt me. So if I've heard
Yeah.
you, I mustn't do it then again.
Yeah.
You know, if I've apologized, why
Absolutely
did
so.
you redo
That's
this thing
correct.
again? So that's one of the things and boundaries that we want to continue setting, to not just listen, but to hear and to action it, you know, not just to say, oh, Jade, I hear what you have said, but really to action that and practice it all the time. And also, like I said, yeah, the respect is, we're very high on the respect. I mean, Jade know also, and she's also high on that. She like, Mommy, please just respect my privacy of respect. I will tell you when it's time, right? Not to insist all the time. So
Right.
that is a good, not to have this insisting mentality when your child says you're going to tell you something and then you want to know it now. Because I'm a hastige parent. You know, I want to know now.
You want
Guilty
yeah, you
as
want
charged.
things- you want
Guilty as
I'm
charged.
telling you.
I'll tell you later, Mommy. No, tell me now.
No, I promise you. Just like, Mommy, I'll tell you. Okay, can we talk 10 o'clock? I'm like,
It's 5 o'clock. You're gonna make me
I'm
insane.
like, I might be dead at 10 o'clock. So I feel like, Johnny, to continue with healthy boundaries is really to value respect is very important. To value time, you know, it's so important. Because I know, especially with my daughter, she had a little bit of a delay in when we had to be somewhere. She will know it the following day, but then she will wake up and she will have a beauty treatment and stuff like that and take time in, and that irritates me and that makes me say things that's not in the scripture, you know. So I feel like working on that, you know, setting that boundaries about if we said we're going to be there specific time, just be, you know, ready for that. And am I talking,
Yeah,
Jada?
yes.
So I think that's so important, and to work on our healthy boundaries, you know, healthy. Sometimes we can have boundaries, but if it's not a healthy boundaries, it doesn't help. And my desire is really to cultivate that and to continuously having healthy boundaries between us so that we can have a beautiful relationship going forward.
Yeah, because it's the mutual respect.
Yes.
Mutual
And I
respect.
think
each
in
other.
addition to what my mom had just mentioned, healthy boundaries are okay, but healthy limits
Yeah.
to those boundaries.
Yeah.
Because I always say to my mom, if I need to help someone with something, I say it's the end of business day. I can't help them now. You need to have that healthy boundaries and say, okay, this is my cut off time.
Yeah, not like your mother.
My mom,
Anytime is
anytime
tea
is tea time. I
Yeah.
think that is very important.
Yeah, ik
And
eet die altyd, Heidi. But I'm learning from her.
She's Jade.
Yeah.
You do really have firm boundaries.
You
And-
very
and
We
firm.
only learnt about boundaries last week. And you here in your early 20s, handing them out
handing
here
them
like
out, I'm
pamphlets,
telling
say,
you.
there's a boundary for you, here's a boundary for you, here's a boundary for you. Hey, and you get two boundaries.
Mommy, you know what? From
I'll
now
speak to you
on-
at 11. You sit down, wait.
Yes,
I think it's just the fact that you need to mentally prepare for stuff. Like you
I
can't
mean,
just-
even that, Jade, you need to mentally prepare for stuff. No, I emotionally respond and I'll mentally
I mentally
fix
dep-
things
I mentally-
afterwards.
Yes, and then she was like, "I'm emotionally depleted. I don't have the capacity."
I've checked my levels, mommy, and
Yeah.
there's
I'm
not
like-
enough right now.
I'm like that. I must have capacity all the time.
You must really pray for the right guy. Yo.
So yeah.
Telling you.
Yes, I'll
She
second you on
currently
that. I'll second you
somehow
on
have
that,
a
Joan.
friend now, dating a friend, but it's still like under the, what you call it?
The
Radar.
radar.
You know,
Under
and
the
there's also
radar.
a boundary. Mommy, you know what? I can't let you. We're just taking it slowly now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, me what? I mean, your daddy came to my grandparents' house like anytime. Who's this?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, so that is also important, Joni. And I take it what Dr. Carl said one day to me. And he's like, Sonia, it's okay if they don't bring them. Because then next year they bring another one. Rather wait until they're serious. And so that stick to me. And I'm okay now with that.
Yeah.
But she will keep us up to date with everything. Because we had a rents check.
Yeah, I think that's important now.
Yeah, we have
Be
a separate
open.
family
Open.
chat,
Yeah,
and then
open
she have a chat
communication.
whereby only me and father and me is on. She call it the rents because we're paying the monies to her. So on that chat, she will always update us on everything.
Jade,
On
can
everything.
I take you out for lunch, please?
I would really.
I need
I'll check my
to get
schedule.
some tips and I
I'll
need to
check my
prepare
schedule.
myself mentally, Joan, because Jessie is 12.
Yeah.
And you can come from my ore aansit. I just suspect something, you know?
Lady
I'm
Hammond
feeling
wants us
very
to-
like
Lady-
overwhelmed now.
Lida Hammond wants us to take her to America for her 13-year-old daughter. Lida
Yeah.
Hammond was like, after having conversations with Jay, don't you want to come stay with us just for 1 year? I just need my 13-year-old daughter to know to be in line. But I'm like, guys, you think it's easy? I'm having it hard. I mean, I'm learning a lot of stuff from this girl.
Yeah.
I think also in closing to the question, I think open communication is also
Yes.
very important.
Very important.
Yeah, and transparency.
Yeah.
Like, as a pastor's kid, I need to be very honest. As a pastor's kid, there's a lot of things that you hide from your parents. Like the friend, yes,
It's a fact.
it's
That's
a fact.
true.
Like the friends you're around,
That's
the stuff
true.
you've tried,
Yeah.
the stuff you've seen, or
Yeah.
things that you've been exposed to that you don't want your parents to know of. But now you at a stage where you're so matured, and you like, I need to let my parents know about this thing, because as much as I'm also growing and I'm learning and I'm mature now, I don't know everything. So I
Yeah,
need to
that's
tell my
true.
parents things so
Absolutely.
they can guide me, and
Yeah,
also
because they've been there.
exactly, and also I can't think I know everything.
Yeah.
So if I tell them that I know this and I've experienced it in this way, then they can also see from their perspective or help me. Yes. So yes.
Yeah, so that's
over
cool.
our
Is
time?
there? Yeah, we actually do.
Sorry.
We actually are, but nevertheless, we actually very. It's a very nice conversation because I still had one. What characteristics and attributes of your mother will you keep in your relationship with your
With my
children,
children.
one day?
I think I would keep her compassion and her resilience, as well as her caring heart. She's very caring. So I would really keep that. Yes, being very compassionate, very involved, and very resilient. So that's the
Resilient.
characteristics
beautiful.
I would keep. Yes.
That's wonderful.
It is. But you have to come back on the show when you have children.
She always said to me, Mommy, I just pray to God that you stay alive until I have children. I want them to experience you.
They do need to
Yeah, I like
She said,
that.
I want them to experience
And I like
you.
the word she's chosen there, because she doesn't say I want them to know you.
Yeah.
I want them to experience.
She said that. She's like, I want you to experience
Yeah, it's
you.
like your mother's
And
an
I'm like,
experience.
Yeah, she's like, am I mad? I'm like, no, you are this lovely mother of mine.
Yeah, no, that's
So yes.
that's very endearing. I think from my side, because we have
Yeah,
get
we,
to-
we actually just lost comments. Thanks.
okay, should this be my last comment as
Yes,
well? I think
please.
I thank you for allowing us into your slice of the pie and
Yeah.
your space in the earth. I really enjoyed your relationship and your bond. Jade, I think I'm gonna chuckle at a few of the things that you managed to say. No, I'm gonna enjoy the show the whole week. I can tell you that much. But it was very endearing and very encouraging. As a mom of girls, I'm also looking forward to all the, the nice bonding moments
Yeah.
and that kind of connection. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being such a wonderful example. I think to so many young women, I enjoyed your wisdom and. Thanks for being here. I think because these are closing remarks, I like this quote. And it just shows us how motherhood leaves a legacy even if you don't want it to. It says behind all your stories is always your mother's story.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
hers is where yours begins.
Wow.
So whatever Wherever your mother was introduced to your life, if your mother had all the issues and the difficulties, that's where your story would start.
right.
And the same way about all the great things about a relationship with a mother is that where your story will start and how it will be framed.
Absolutely.
So thank you for this beautiful story. Lady S, I must commend you on not having a mother, but allowing God to transform you into this experience of a mother.
Let me cry.
So yes, we enjoyed you very much. Thank you for being here.
Very nice. Last comments from
Yeah,
you guys.
I don't know. I suddenly feel so emotional. Mother's Day is always emotional for me, but I think my children and Jada, as a daughter, she makes it so special sometimes with the beautiful notes she will write and remind me of the mother that I'm really are. And I sometimes doubt myself because I feel like I didn't have any lead from where I can come from. But yeah, I have mothers, great mothers, examples as my friends, as Joan and Sandy and Violet and yourself, Pastor Ann, and I just draw from being a mother. I can't boast in myself, but from what I've learned also on my journey with you guys, it's amazing. And I keep on striving to be the best mom to my children. It's not always easy, but yeah. And I told them my story, and that helps me to become better because they know my story was not beautiful. So when they see me and they hear me, they will always say, "We can't believe, Mom, that you're doing this for us and you didn't have that." So
You rewrote that story.
yes, definitely.
I think for me, my closing remark would be for any young lady out there that's probably having mother and daughter conflict or having a difficult relationship with your mom, I think it's really important for you to understand that your mom's just a girl living life for the first time.
Yes.
So I think the moment you start to realize that she's just a girl and she's just living life for her first time, you'll get to understand that she's also experiencing things for the first time and going through things for the first time. So be patient and be gentle with her and also gentle with yourself. So yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I
So,
would say.
yay, beloved, we came to the end of our show. So, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. God loves you best. Go in the peace of the Lord. Enjoy your day. Mwah.
In the shadows, as I look upon my life.